nation and needs the 1619 project to help black people.
Wait. There's an representation of black people in Congress, period.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
You mean it doesn't line up directly with the population size? So
not at all. We also have an overrepresentation of Jewish people. We also have an overrepresentation of Puerto Ricans. We also have an overrepresentation of fucking Orientals. I mean, dude,
my God, we have right about everything.
We have an overrepresentation of Muslims in fucking.
We have an underrepresentation of whites, don't we?
Oh my!
We probably do. I haven't actually looked at that.
Yeah. Weird. You're right.
This is disgusting.
Yeah.
We need social justice. Social justice could fix this.
No, what I'm saying is like you're like, oh, it's only 2% of lobbying. Oh, it's like totally not a big deal, but it's somehow like the dominant political conversation for a month now.
And I just explained why. I just explained why too. And until the fucking boomers die completely, it'll remain that way.
It's because the doomers feel guilt from not being more favorable to the Jews.
Because they turned the Jews away and led them to their extinction. Yes. It is their generations. It's their generation.
I thought we gave them Israel, though. We put them in Israel.
We didn't do shit with that, dude. That was all.
You just said that we did.
Oh, you fucking retard!
We put them there.
Yes, we put them there. We were the ones that put them into entertainment. We're the ones that made sure that they were bankers. We were the ones that turned them into fucking lawyers. Would you like to know why?
When we're talking about the ones that came to the U.S., you said we turned
them
away.
No. I was talking about...
10 years ago, you said we were the reason that Israel has Jews there. They wanted to live in their countries, but we put them in Israel.
No, I did not say that. If you'd like to straw man me, go ahead, but be better.
No, I'll take chat. I'll let chat decide whether I'm gaslighting myself or whether you're gaslighting me. But I'm pretty sure you said that we were the ones that put.
We put them in entertainment, you dumb fuck. That's what I said. We put them in banking, you fucking retarded fool. We put them.
We said, hey, you're our bankers now.
Do you want to know why? There's a historic reason, you fucking retard.
I've explained all this to him. I've explained all this to him as well about usury and how Christians didn't practice it. And
Jesus Christ. Just because you're a fucking historical retard and can't see past fucking 1976 doesn't mean that the rest of the world doesn't understand history. You're fucking stupid when it comes to that. For someone who is a constitutional scholar, who is working in a constitutional law firm, you are fucking stupid. Come on, man.
What did I say? What did I say that was wrong? I asked you questions, bro.
You are literally. Okay.
Your best argument that you've made tonight, genuinely, is that I'm dumb.
You are.
You are
literally
best argument you've made tonight.
Okay, here we go.
What's the other argument you've even made?
Jews are disproportionate in entertainment. Would you like to know why?
Okay, but my assertion.
No.
Is that they are.
Address the point.
You can tell me why. It doesn't matter why.
It is very simple. Because white people, European white people, thought that being an entertainer was beneath them. They would not allow Jews to get into things like skilled trades and anything else. Because they discriminated against them. They didn't like the Jews, kind of like Adam, kind of like, you at times. And that's fine, dude. Have your bigotry. I don't really care. But when it comes down to it...
How am I bigoted?
When it comes down to it...
I'm bigoted because I was concerned about overrepresentation. That's still that. Even if I fully believed with all of my soul that Israel or that Jewish people were overrepresented, it doesn't necessarily make me a bigot.
Well, no, it's the
that's an objective assertion or not.
Well, no, so it's the consistent the subversion.
But what makes you so mad, dude? What makes you so mad?
Because I'm a fucking Jew, you dumbass.
You're what, a Messianic Jew?
Yes, but I am actually a racial Jew too, to a point. Yes. I have like 12%.
That's odd. It's like
why? Why is that odd? People fuck.
I'm Italian of descent.
You are a fucking lesser white, dude. You are barely white. You are the black people of whites.
Is the point that I'm saying is that my identity at the top, I'm an American. For you, apparently, Jew is up there with it. At least.
No, I'm American more than anything. But that still doesn't. But that still doesn't mean.
Oh, I'm racially Jewish.
Well, I do have some racial Jew.
There is a loyalty that Jews have to Israel because they're Jewish.
You idiot. Okay, look, I'm also.
That's a question.
Okay, I'm also 30% Pakistani, dude.
Are you?
Yeah. Hate to break it to you. Look,
Okay, and do you give a fuck about Pakistan?
I don't give a fuck about either of them, really.
I
But when
want
you sit
30%
there,
of you turn to
Are you
glass.
sure?
yes, but when you
If I
sit
was
there and
talking this
say,
shit about Pakistan, you'd be like,
dude, I fucking hate Pakis, dude. But I hate all Muslim types. Okay, so I mean, I 30% hate myself. Okay, I don't even practice a religion. I fucking 30% hate myself. But the reality of all this is, everyone is there's a mix of everything in a lot of us, and you probably got a little Heisenberg in you too. Hate to break it to you there, buddy. But
I don't know what that means. Sounds like a Breaking Bad reference.
Well, yeah, I used that one, but guess what? Heisenberg was a Jew.
Berg, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it's also common in German names.
You should call him Heisensberg.
Heisenberg. There we go. But look, when you sit there and you say all Jews this, okay, when you add them the
when have I ever said that? Or other than this loyalty that you guys have only asserted what I'm saying, that Jews seem to have this loyalty to their Jewish identity.
Landon, Jason will not bomb anyone. Jason will not bomb anyone unless you're brown and Muslim. Okay, that's who I like to bomb. Okay, I want to destroy Mecca. Okay, that's who I am. But
and by the way, I'm not even the one who made this assertion. Ben Shapiro made this assertion. All Jews throughout world history are only loyal to their home country insofar as they're loyal to Israel.
Ben Shapiro is an Israel first person. I've told you that.
He is.
Okay, I don't. Yes, he is. 100%. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you are, so
Tyler's tried to argue Ben Shapiro represents most of MAGA.
Tyler's a retard.
Say that.
If he said that,
did you not say that most of MAGA would side with Ben Shapiro?
He gets like fucking.
No. That's not what he means. That's not what he means. Okay, if you look at the common everyday fucking conservative, okay, they will side with Israel because they were raised with the guilt of we turned the Jewish people away during World War II and Mustache Man killed a lot of them. Okay, I hate to break it to you, but that's why that exists.
Well, Ted, we could also take Ted Cruz probably represents a significant portion of people who misunderstand what they read in the Bible and didn't think about it since they were kids.
Look, I will tell you that 99%.
The reason Ted Cruz hates Tucker is because he dragged that out of him.
There's a reason why.
Well, the Bible says that you have to be pro-Israel or else you'll die and suffer. So I guess I'll be as pro-Israel as possible. That's also one of the reasons, probably.
Well,
in America.
Well, a big problem with that is
probably a bigger reason than the boomers that are like, I feel bad about the Holocaust.
Well, a lot of people that have issues with that have issues with Christianity. That they say the Bible says this. I guarantee you they've never read the Bible, for one, and for two, they just listen to what their pastor said, and they haven't been in church in 15, 20 years. They don't even know what the fucking religion is. Andrew Wilson calls them the sewing circle Christians. Yes. I love that video. It's a great video. You put the little hat on. It's great. It's great. But most Christians don't understand the Bible. I like the myth of Buddy Christ. Jesus was all about accepting and loving everyone, and that's fucking bullshit. Like Jesus was hardcore at times, bro. He flipped tables and fucking whipped people like a boss.
Okay.
But it's there's a misunderstanding in Christianity and thinks that you got to be nice about everything. No. Jesus washed the feet of whores. And he forgave them for their sins and told them, go forward and sin no more. And he did it in a daddy voice, okay? He didn't say, go forward and sin no more. Ooh, ooh. No, he wasn't nice about it, okay?
Right.
So, we have, especially in the Protestant sect, well, okay, the Roman Catholics and the Protestants, the Orthodox are they don't play the Buddy Christ game, but most Protestant sects and most of the LGBTQ fucking Roman Catholics will sit there and tell you, it's all about compassion and everything else. Compassion sometimes is saying that's fucking unacceptable, and we do not condone your lifestyle, and nor will we, we won't endorse it and we won't accept it. Okay, that is still being compassionate. You don't have to fucking kill someone because you disagree with their lifestyle.
I agree. I don't think ever killing is good.
No, sometimes killing is justified and needed.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that.
But the whole idea is that the pacifist Christian movement is the problem. When people say that isn't very Christian of you. Well, what's not very Christian of me? Well, you said that homosexuality is a sin. Yes, because it is. But you're not showing them the compassion that you should. Okay, what's compassionate? Hey, what you do is wrong. I don't condone it. You're welcome to the church, and you're welcome to change your mind and change your lifestyle, sure. But you don't have to be nice about it. Of course, you don't want to shun someone. Penn, if someone came to your church, would you welcome them into the congregation?
Yes.
What if they're an ass-ramming uncle fucker?
A what?
An ass-ramming uncle fucker.
They better stop. They should stop.
Well, yeah, they should stop, but they're still welcome, right? They're still welcome to hear the word of God, right?
Yes, and hopefully make them stop.
Are they welcome to become a member of the church?
Is a member of a church just someone who goes to the church, or like a?
Yeah, a member of the church, member of the community.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you probably wouldn't agree that they should be a deacon or a member of leadership within the church, correct?
Are we talking about someone who's like actively getting away with these crimes in real time?
Is it a
crime?
crime?
Is
it a crime to fuck another dude in the ass? Dude's an ass-ramming uncle fucker, dude.
It should be. Yeah, it should be.
Okay, but no, it isn't. Okay, under the laws of America,
right?
Being an ass-ramming uncle fucker is not illegal. So, should they be a leader in the church?
I don't think they could be an honest leader now.
See, I don't agree. I agree. They should not be a leader in the church, but they can still be a member of the church congregation. And we do that with the hope and compassion that they will see the error of their ways and they will change their lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay, but you don't have to be rude to them. But when this is my partner, you should be like, yeah, we don't really get down like that. Hey, you're welcome too, but what y'all are doing we think is wrong.
Right.
And we wish you wouldn't celebrate your lifestyle. We would like for you to change. That's not forcing them. That's not being mean to them. That's just telling them we don't like this. You're still welcome here, but no, you can't be more than just a person that sits in the congregation until you change your ways. Can someone that is a reformed gay, can they be a leader in the church?
Well, they're not gay anymore.
You sure about that?
If I believe them.
See, I would say yes with an asterisk. And I'd watch them really fucking closely. Okay, but a lot of people will say, well, no, especially like the Presbyterians and the Lutherans and the Episcopals. Oh, fuck them people. That they embrace homosexuality and they put fucking pride flags up on their church and things like that. Okay, that's just fucking wrong. In fact, if Jesus saw that, if Yeshua saw that, that was his real name, by the way. Jesus is his European name. If Yeshua showed up to the house of the Lord and he saw a fucking pride flag, knowing what it meant, I guarantee you he's flipping pews and he's pulling the whip out. Because that shit is blasphemy. Yes, we will accept the sinner, but we will not accept the sin.
Are you going somewhere with this?
I think I went there. I think I did it all. I think I fucking I
refute something that I said or something.
Well, I was just talking about how everyone thinks the Buddy Christ myth is a thing.
Oh yeah, well that's like the liberal, like retarded version of
Yeah.
like Jesus wouldn't have wanted us to enforce immigration law. He would have been like
Well-
the whole world's just.
And I was listening.
Yeah.
I was listening to Wick. I was listening to Wick rant about Christian nationalism as if he has any fucking clue what that is. But he was talking about Yeshua talked about how he said to love your neighbor as thyself. Therefore, nationalism bad. What? Look, my neighbors. I live around some really great people, but down the road, there's this one dude I fucking despise. Okay, why do I despise him? Because I know he's selling meth.
Okay.
I mean, look, I've only called like four police raids on him, okay? I'm hoping that they burn down the house one day by accident.
There's a Jewish prayer that when somebody dies in your family and it was done in a malicious act, you don't like wish mercy on their soul. You wish God to have vengeance on their blood. So yeah, you don't have to just love everybody equally if they're bad people. If somebody brings harm to you, wishing vengeance on them is perfectly in line with Judeo-Christian values, which are exactly the same.
Well, so there is it's not vengeance, it's justice that they pray for.
Yeah.
But there's a difference, okay? Vengeance is, Tyler, I fucking hate you, and I hope you walk barefooted on Legos for the rest of your life, okay?
Oh.
Just out of spite. Because fuck you, that's why. Okay, that's bad. Okay, but if you did something wrong to me, I'm not even going to suggest something, but you did something wrong, and I would pray for justice for the wrongs that you committed. I think that's more reasonable, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, still, at the end of the day, you can wish harm on people that have, even if it's justice-based, if you think it's
Can
just...
you?
But
Can Adam say that? Is he allowed to say that?
well, so under Judaic law, yes, there's nothing wrong with praying for justice. Okay, vengeance is a different thing. What's up, Al? How you doing, buddy?
It's like the difference between kill and murder.
There's
like killing can be in self-defense.
Yeah, there's such things as justified killing,
believed.
but murder is bad. Yes, thou shalt not murder, not thou shalt not kill.
I got a 5-minute warning. I gotta go in 5 minutes. I've been here the whole 3 hours.
He's been trying to get out of here for 3 hours, desperately trying to claw his way out of the pro-Israeli simp position he's found himself in.
Look, it's okay. Look, he's a globalist, dude. That's really all it is. My man Tyler is a globalist, and he is going to advocate towards more globalist memes.
Hell yeah, and the world's going to be better off because of it.
I think
the world.
I say
This is like we're the Yankees, and we have like 9 all-stars on our team. The entire starting lineup is all-stars, and Tyler's like, I just think we should let all of the teams have our players. It's like, no.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing.
It's like better for the league. Fuck the league.
3 of these all-stars came from Cuba.
Chat.
3 of those all-stars came from Cuba, and all I'm saying is we should make sure Cuban kids have food because they put out baseball all-stars at a very high rate.
Then we should stop bringing them to our team in the first place.
Yeah,
sending our players after we develop them and then send them out to wherever we want.
Anymore. So now you're against all-stars.
No, I'm saying if you want it that way, we need to stop bringing the all-stars into the organization, training them up to become all-stars, and then let them actually develop. And like, why don't they develop on any other teams? Why does it always have to be on our team to become all-stars and then we give them away?
Tyler, you got 6 all-stars because you got rid of those 3. Good for you.
Tyler. Why don't we just make North America America for once? Can we just do that? Okay. Look, we blockade Cuba. We starve them out. We take it back over. Boom. We got good cigars again. Okay.
What do you do about all the left-wing voters you pick up in Mexico, Canada, Cuba, Puerto Rico?
Look. I say start with
them.
I look. You keep.
We make them second-class citizens.
You make it a territory, and you never allow them to vote in national elections until they actually, acclimate.
Yes.
They have to look.
Canada, U.S. territory, Mexico,
Yes.
U.S. territory.
I don't want a single what is not America right now. I do not want any new territories that the U.S. takes when we take over North America. So we'll make North America America for once. We make them all territories like Puerto Rico. where they can't fucking vote in our federal elections because fuck them, that's why. Okay? Until they actually, become American. Send them to Madagascar. Yes, Alamo. But let's be honest, dude. I want to make North America America for once. Why? Because based. America, the continent. How awesome would that be, first of all? Second of all, big booty Latina girls. Okay? Need I say more? Third, poutine is fucking great and Tim Hortons is good, but most of Canada sucks. But, fuck them. They got oil.
Okay? There's way more French Canadians than big booty Latinas.
Not when I'm done.
No, there's not.
No,
there's no way that's true.
French Canadians are the worst fucking people to deal with you'll ever.
I mean, he's not wrong.
There's no way that there's. I don't even know if I've met a French Canadian, but I've met so many big booty Latinas. Are you kidding me?
So lucky. They're everywhere in Europe. They come over the border. They don't tip. They're rude as fuck. They're cocksuckers.
But I mean, real deal, man. Yes, it is the Gulf of America. Absolutely. But look, I want to make North America America for once. That means, and look, I want to start with Cuba. Why? Because Cuban cigars are fucking great. That's all I need to know. If you haven't lived until you smoked a real Havana, okay? I'm just saying.
Okay.
And
I don't smoke any cigars though, so it's just going to be a cigar for me.
And Cuban food is good too. And as a fat guy, I can appreciate that. But yeah, we make North America America for once. We can get rid of Taco Bell and we can actually get real street tacos. Canada.
Can we make Israel a U.S. territory?
I mean, we could, but why would we want to? It's all the way over there.
All of the reasons that we have to maintain this alliance in the first place. And then we just get to not have to negotiate.
Or, hear me out, we just sell arms to them.
Yeah.
I think that's much better. I think that's way mo better. Mo better, mo beautiful. Hey, you want enough arsenal to destroy Mecca and every Muhammad jihad on your hemisphere? Sure. Here. We have something to sell you. Minutemen missiles, let's go. Look, we will openly make them the most heavily nuclear armed landmass smaller than the size of New Jersey. Why? Because the Arabs are stupid. And if you show the Arabs, we will end all of you, they'll stop.
There's a fair argument for that. Andrew Wilson doesn't have a doctorate, and he debated a Muslim with a doctorate.
Dude, that was disgusting, bro. That was like I just wanted to go. The fuck?
I thought he made the better argument.
The fuck? Fucking your first cousin was a better argument?
No, that was literally all Andrew did. And
yeah, I know.
I don't agree that we should have cousin fucking, and I do think it's better to make that illegal and stuff. But the prompt was, what's better for society? Andrew basically said we don't fuck our cousins.
Well, yes.
He couldn't argue that we are less degenerate, that we're less
no. But his argument
that we're less online.
But the argument was we are better because we don't cousin fuck, and because of that lack of cousin fucking,
right?
We're able to maintain.
I'll say this:
let me finish. We're able to maintain our own infrastructure. We're able to maintain technology. These are two things that the Arabs cannot do. Okay.
I don't know about that.
No, I do know because I've been there.
You're acting like Dubai is like Africa.
Dubai
is Dubai not a real place?
Dubai is not a real place. Dubai is a place propped up with oil money. There is not an Arab one that does fucking shit there. They don't do shit. They have foreign nationals come in and do it all for them.
You're talking about like the maintenance of their skyscrapers.
Yes,
all of
everything
that stuff.
is done by foreigners there. Arabs do not do shit.
Fair, I'll grant that.
They are DUM.
I mean, I have no idea, but I will grant perhaps all of their infrastructure and societal progress has been propped up on the support of the Christians in Europe and U.S.
The only reason why Saudi Arabia is one of the richest quote-unquote countries in the world is because America drills the oil for them, and refines it for them. They're not even smart enough to boil the oil properly, dude. Think about it.
Okay. No, that's fine. I can
Turkish
see that.
people make the best coffee overall.
No, that's a fucking lie too.
Turkish coffee is bomb.
No, it
Turkish
is.
coffee
I just think I was surprised by Andrew Wilson, who I've been listening to argue over and over and over again about preference and how morals, basically boil down to preferences. And I felt like that was kind of relevant with the whole cousin thing, because it's like we have preferences to not fuck our cousins. But that's not it's not like a religious moral that you can attribute to Christianity or Islam.
Actually, it is. So now, ecumenally, Christianity and Islam were really close. Unfortunately for Islam, is about 1,200 years ago, Christianity decided to go away from the whole cousin fucking thing. In fact, they started to state that you should not have sex with any member of your family.
Right, but did that come from a religious moral, or that came from a preference that we developed?
Well, it came,
as we saw, because I agree with you completely that it's bad to fuck your cousin.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But it's like that wasn't like a Christian ethic. That's
no,
like
it actually
a reality of the world.
So it was a Christian ethic because it was the church that came up with that. Now, are they rooting that in Scripture? No.
But right. Well, that's my point. It's just the church's preference. Ultimately, is fine.
But yes, it became a Christian ethic. It may not be biblically,
but that's because
founded
of. Right, but I'm saying that's because we see the negative. If it wasn't a problem to fuck your cousin, it had no effect on any of this stuff that we're talking about, like on IQ and whatever, and it had no effect on society, would the church have done this?
Actually,
didn't the church do this because it was a preference to avoid the negatives of inbreeding?
Well, it was to avoid the negatives of inbreeding. They didn't fully understand why at the time, but it became.
Sure. I mean, we didn't discover it not to clean our surgical instruments until like 100 years ago.
But it became a part of the religious doctrine where Islam has not evolved there. So all Andrew did was he watched a couple of this guy's debates, and he went, "This is my prediction. I predict that he's going to try to sit there and say that Andrew is going to debate on the terms of what Andrew would call himself to be a sewing circle Christian."
I gotta go. It's wife time. Take it easy.
Run away, pussy Jew-loving. No, I'm just kidding.
Jason's picked up the buck where I left off with his fucking retard juiceberg.
Peace out, Tyler.
But the argument is that
could have gotten to the same conclusion, couldn't they?
Well,
look, this is bad. We don't inbreed anymore.
Okay, so
we're talking about like what makes it a Christian ethic. The church dominated society and made decisions that were based on like preferences, like a lot of the secular world does now.
But it became a Christian ethic, where in Islam that is not an ethic. In fact, they say it's completely fine. So the argument was, which creates a better society? So objectively, Arab society is garbage because they rely on slavery and foreigners to upkeep everything, because they are too fucking retarded to be able to do it themselves.
Well, it's bad for the slaves.
Well, it's bad for the slaves. It's bad for the Arabs themselves. It's bad for the Arabs themselves because they can't even wipe their own ass properly. Okay? I'm a
Juiceberg, and you're like legitimately like, my argument is that they can't wipe their ass.
I'm literally saying,
what do they do?
I'm saying they are so fucking stupid they can barely wipe their own ass properly.
Right, but I never have once talked about Jews like that. And I'm like, I just find it ironic that I'm a Juiceberg. But
you are a Juiceberg.
Are you a Muslim Spurg? What are you?
Sure. I hate Arabs.
You're a Muslim Spurg.
No, I'm a racist. I hate Arabs.
Well, we're all racist.
Well, but I'll openly say it with pride. I hate Arabs.
Okay.
But
I don't say I hate Jews.
No, you don't. You don't. You just spurg out, and I
don't hate Jews. I just
find
think it is
boring.
weird when people are like, "Oh, they're only like a percentage of our lobbying."
But
and I'm like,
the argument is that the Arabs cannot even maintain their own country. Therefore, they do not have a society. That was actually the argument.
right, but they obviously do. Like let's start with Africa. Like we know in Africa they're literally still living in like village huts. Like they don't even have permanent infrastructure.
Yes,
like,
Kieran.
Certainly not.
Yes. Kieran, my former co-host says, no, he's turbo racist to Arabs. Yes, I am. But no, they can't maintain their own society, and that's what Andrew's actual argument was. What he dedicated it to was cousin fucking. But he said it on multiple times. When the prompt is, which creates a better society, Christian or Islam, he says Christian hands down, because Muslims cannot even get to an IQ because of all the inbreeding where they can have middle management style decisions made on their own behalf, and they cannot maintain their own infrastructure. So that is...
Well, look, I'll be clear. I agree with Andrew on the prompt. And I don't think he made bad arguments, but like I don't think the Muslim performed that poorly.
No, he did perform poorly.
Is it better that they are? When we're talking about what the Muslims' arguments were, is it better that they perform less abortions over there?
So Andrew,
is that better?
So hold on.
There's less divorce. Those are better for society.
So Andrew caught him in a trap, and here's what the trap is. The guy, the Pikachu guy or whatever his name was, he is a devout Muslim. Because of that, if he says anything that is against the Quran, Hadith, Shuras, or anything else, he will be branded a heretic and killed. So Andrew caught him in an ideological trap. And one of the things they don't talk about is cousin fucking. But it's acceptable because under Sharia, they can fuck their cousins. So what he did is he trapped him to where he could not deny what the truth was. He couldn't speak out against it because that'd be speaking out against the religion, which would then make him an apostate. Okay? If the guy wants to live as a Muslim under Sharia and he speaks out against Islam, what did they do? They get a rusty machete and they chop his head off. Okay?
But you're saying if he said, "Oh, we shouldn't have cousin marriages,"
yes,
he couldn't have possibly argued against.
He would be speaking out against the religion. I conceded that he clearly
argued in favor of cousin marriages.
Yeah, he was.
And I don't agree that was one of the points that I think Andrew, he made that was good.
Well, I'm not saying that it was a good or a bad. I'm saying Andrew caught him in an ideological trap where he could not fight against it. He could not even argue against, because then he would be speaking out against the religion, which would make him an apostate. Andrew caught him in an ideological trap, is all that happened. A lot of people don't understand that, though, because they don't understand Islam. Does that make sense? I mean, literally, if he denied, if he fought against it, if he spoke out against the religion,
even try to,
because if he did, he would be labeled an apostate.
No, right, but that's still like I'm taking his arguments as his arguments. I'm saying when he made arguments that were like, we have less divorces, we have less drug use, we have more cohesive communities. Those were arguments that are better about society. And the cousin marriage thing, I mean, we had just addressed it. That sort of goes to like seculars could have figured that out. That's just an objective truth and a preference that makes sense based on the reality of how people like.
Now let me ask
Christian
you this.
ethic.
Let me ask you this: where does the morality of secularists tend to come from? What's the origin of it?
Christianity, but this is to my point that if it was a Christian ethic and secularists had borrowed it, that would be one thing. But secularists could reason there without Christian ethics, just based on objective reality that there's negative consequences to inbreeding.
If secularists could have, they would have. But no, all they did was take all of Christian ethics.
By your logic, they'll never ever do anything that isn't supported on the basis of those. But what I'm saying is Christian morals didn't lead to that. The Christian church engages in preferences and reacts to the real world and recognized the negatives of inbreeding, and the church adopted that. But it wasn't like this is a Christian ethic regardless of the consequences, because we both just agree the church wouldn't have done this if it wasn't to serve the obvious benefit of reducing inbreeding issues.
Yes. But they made it a Christian
ethic. So it's not like a Christian ethic. It's the Christians essentially adopting the secularist approach of what's actually reality.
But it came from the church. It came from the church, therefore it's a Christian ethic. Just because Yeshua didn't preach it doesn't make it less of a Christian ethic.
And that's not what I'm saying, though. I'm saying they could have... If there were no negative consequences to inbreeding, the church wouldn't have done this.
No,
they did this because there were negative consequences to inbreeding. That is something that secularists could have done, is recognize the negatives.
Hold on, they gave religious reasons for it. In Leviticus 18:6 says, "None of you shall approach any of one of his close relatives to uncover nakedness."
Well, then it is a Christian ethic then.
Well,
fuck, okay.
Yeah.
That would be a Christian ethic then.
But that would be...
We could say, look, we don't even have a reason why. This is just a religious moral code that we follow. That would be a moral ethic.
But that's actually like when they say close relatives, they actually mean within the household. But when...
they don't mean cousins.
They didn't mean cousins. But they meant within the household.
Okay, well
so
then...
Father-daughter...
Well...
mother-son type shit is what that actually referred to. But you also got to think about in context of during the time of when this was said and things like that. What was the means of travel?
Before cars, you mean? Like, in general? Like
donkeys and feet, right? The leather express. Okay, so your ability to actually get to your extended family, you didn't necessarily always grow... Like where you were born is chances are where you were going to live almost all your life. There was most
you'd be surrounded by family almost.
Not necessarily, because some people would take jobs such as merchants and things like that would take them elsewhere.
Well, some.
Yeah, but so there's the whole cousin thing. Normally,
that's who would be around.
Yeah,
because you said like some go off, but most don't even leave where they were born. So most people are just surrounded by family.
And the reason why cousin fucking was kind of okay in their eye back then was because you couldn't get around. You didn't meet a lot of people. The family tree wasn't as wide because you didn't have as much options as you do today. Right,
but I'm not making this as saying the Muslim made a good argument for cousin fucking. There's obviously a negative to Muslim. But when he mentioned less gambling, less abortions, less degeneracy, less divorces,
why is there less
religious groups?
Why is there less gambling in the Middle East?
Well, it doesn't matter why.
Well, no, it actually does.
Because here's the thing, I can concede this debate because the purpose of Christianity is not to be the best for society. It is the truth and it is the salvation. Yes. We can have the debate about what's best, what's the best society to live in. Is it better to live in a society, is it better to live in a society that has no murder because everyone is so oppressed that you can't possibly commit murder?
Well, I mean, there's that argument.
You could argue that that's a better society to live in because you have no concern of getting murdered. I don't agree with it because I do value freedoms, and murder is bad. So, it doesn't mean murder is good.
Okay, so you value freedom. Okay, I can agree with you there. I value freedom as well.
Yes.
Okay, now I love liberty. I love those kinds of things.
Based.
But Islam does not tolerate such. Christianity tolerates. There's your difference.
No, I get that. I wouldn't want to live in a Muslim society, Islamic society.
But I will tell you that's why those things don't exist, because the prophet, the child molesting,
but I'm just saying
child molesting prophet Muhammad, who could not read, said child sex good, alcohol bad. Therefore, if you drink alcohol in the Middle East, they can kill you for it.
Wait, he said child sex good?
He married what was her name?
Oh, well, like Muhammad married a 9-year-old or whatever?
No. He consummated with a 9-year-old. He married a 6-year-old. There's a difference.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
But
his favorite wife,
Johnny Ball's question, because look, we all agree, obviously, our society doesn't allow any of that and shouldn't. But, like, what do you think was the average age of reproduction in like pre-societal human life? Like there were probably a lot of 10-year-olds giving birth.
No, puberty. I assure you, it was at least puberty. Do you want to know why?
Well, puberty was probably younger back then as well.
No. The Muslims
Hasn't the age for puberty getting later in life?
No, it's actually getting younger.
As we've evolved?
It's actually getting younger because of the hormones and shit in our food and our milk and things like that.
Well, perhaps I'd have to look that up. But I guess the point I'm saying is like,
so
girls get their period,
so
quickly after that got pregnant in like prehistoric, like I'm talking about like barbarian. I'm talking about like fucking pre-society. We're not talking about like. There's no laws at this point. It's like way thousands of years ago.
In medieval times, girls were allowed to get married around 14. That was what society.
I don't think women become fertile at 16.
I said 14.
Is that true? No, this chat's at 16. I'm saying.
Yes, when girls are fertile, yes.
Isn't the youngest like 5 years old? Someone gave birth.
No,
I think that's way too old, Peep.
That would kill a child, bro. Puberty is where you see the change in the body to where they can give birth. Take a biology course, my man.
Well, I just looked up in prehistoric era what age did girls start giving birth, and it says in the early Paleolithic era as early as 7 to 13 years old. And I'm just saying that it kind of makes sense. Like as soon as their body was capable of doing it, they were probably it was by our societal standards probably rape, but we're talking about like essentially animals at this point. Like when does the cow start giving birth? Probably very quickly after it's like capable of giving birth.
Yeah,
like cats. If you have a bunch of cats out, as soon as the cat is capable of getting pregnant, it probably often does in the wild.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that like where I'm kind of like thinking of humans as like animals, like this prehistoric, like that age. Like we have a society that functions based on ethics that we've seen the drawbacks, like why like we said, why we don't have cousin fucking, and why we don't have underage, why we have an age limit for sex and marriage and stuff like that.
In that debate, Andrew had the most childish of all the arguments, but I would claim that he won overall because he basically stated Muslim societies don't actually have a society because they rely on foreigners and stuff to maintain their society. They can't maintain it themselves. They are too biologically retarded to be able to maintain themselves. That's what the argument was. If that went over your head, bro, I don't know how it did. Like maybe you didn't listen.
I don't think that was his core. No, I did listen. But
if you didn't pick up on that, he didn't say it. He didn't like say it like that bluntly. But he did allude to it multiple times, and if you couldn't pick up on it...
Yeah, I get that. No, I did. He said that many times that they were like 1 to 2 standard deviations below the average. I get that.
Yeah.
And I do think that we have a more intelligent society, but that question, the prompt was, which is better for society?
Which is better for society? So wouldn't...
Yeah, so if we all had 150 IQs and we're degenerate porn addicts, is that a better society?
No. But
well, that's kind of the point that the Muslim was making.
Well, yes, he was making that, but the problem was that you can actually look at studies and you can show that everywhere that Islam has spread, they have a substandard IQ because of all the inbreeding. Because of that substandard IQ, they have issues maintaining their own infrastructure.
Are they the lowest IQ in the world?
Not in the world, but as a religion goes, yes. Like, I'm pretty sure the shit throwers in India have a higher IQ. Not by much, but... yeah, street shitters...
I agree with Peep. I think Christian nationalism would make the best society.
No, I disagree there.
I think we'd be better off than... Well, then you think the secular... nationalism makes the best society?
Well, I don't think you need to have the Christian theocracy.
We're saying best, not perfect.
Okay, I mean, Christian nationalism. It depends, dude. Like honestly, I would not want a Christian Orthodox style Christian nationalism.
Why not?
Because they're too intolerant. I'm conservative.
Are they though?
I am very
Isn't
conservative.
Christian nationalism what got us to the secular nationalism? Like that, if that's the gateway that we got through to get to secular nationalism, that's like.
But hear me out for a reason.
Was almost the problem.
Hear me out for a moment. Now, you would consider me to be pretty conservative, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a liberal.
Yeah. You love her.
I am, but you're a liberal too. Okay, we were raised in liberalism. We are liberals. We're just on the more conservative. We're on the more conservative side of liberalism. We believe that actual liberal principles are not a bad thing. Christian theocratic nationalism, I have an issue with because we are a multicultural society that allows for outside religions to exist. Now, the only one that I would sit there and go 100% we should not allow in Western society is Islam, because it is non-compatible with Western beliefs. But I find Western beliefs to mostly be true. Wouldn't you agree there? The West is the best, baby.
I do agree that the West is the best.
Okay, now I didn't say the West is perfect, but the West is the best. You would agree, right?
We're a little bit prone to subversion.
We are, but that's because we are a liberal society. We're open and tolerant of newer ideas. You would agree?
Yeah. But we're too tolerant. Isn't that kind of the argument, that we're too tolerant?
We kind of are too tolerant. However, Christian nationalism...
We're definitely too tolerant, aren't we?
But Christian
Aren't we definitely too tolerant?
I think we are to a point, yes. But
right, like Christian nationalism, to me, I don't imagine like this is like, oh, it's, by law you have to go to church. I just think, oh, the state wouldn't allow like tranny doctors to trans people and perform abortions. So here's that's what I want.
Here's where Andrew does a good job of selling Christian nationalism. Is he says that it's not the religion that actually runs the state. It is the state using Christian ethics to run the state. It is the politicians using Christian ethics to run the state, which I can agree with to a point.
That would be so based.
To a point. I think you can even take that too far.
Well, let's take our constitutional principles and say these are what holds back our Christian nationalist government.
Okay.
It's like if you think that the Christian nationalist government would violate the constitutional principles that we love on liberty so much,
it would.
I agree with you.
Absolutely,
I wouldn't want a subversion of our constitutional principles.
But
if we could have a government that was essentially Christian nationalists restricted by the constitutional principles that we held on government, that is, I think, the ideal form of government. Because right now what we have is our constitutional principles that descend from our religious principles, but they're implemented by secularists.
Yes.
And now we have abortion and trannies and all this gay marriage and shit.
So under originalist thought, in order to hold office, you had to be a landowner and you had to profess your values of your Christian faith. Okay, those were things that were required. Would you agree?
To be in office?
To be able to hold office, yes.
To be able to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine. If we had a Christian nationalist nation, we shouldn't let secularists subvert it.
So that's actually fine. I have no problem with that, okay? But that was the conditions of being able to hold office. However,
but not to exist.
Hold on. But let me ask you this.
Right.
Okay. How schooled up are you on Leviticus?
Not.
You're not.
But go ahead and teach me.
Okay. If you're gay, what's the punishment for being gay?
Does it have the stones?
It's death. What's the punishment for adultery?
Adultery is
death. It's the same
cheating
thing.
On your wife,
in fact,
or whatever.
Yes. So really, when it comes to sins of a sexual nature, the punishment.
Right, but we already said we've held back these Christian nationalistic constitutional principles. They wouldn't be allowed to punish us with.
So this is where I have a problem.
Right?
So this is where I have a problem with the idea of Christian nationalism, is because they don't want to take in consideration the current founding documents of our country, because the founding documents under Christian nationalism is the Bible. And if you take the Bible to its ultimate conclusion... Well, I
can agree with that.
If you take the Bible to its ultimate conclusion and the most literal of its interpretations, everything is death.
Well,
which, as a liberal, as a liberal, and I'm using liberal with the big L, not like the cuck liberals on the Democrat side. I'm as the liberals that we are. Do you think death is deserved for everything under the sun?
No.
Okay. So that's where I have my problems with Christian.
But a lot more than what we're at right now. There's a lot of people that probably should be put to death.
Look.
Now,
I'm open to negotiations.
Probably 20% of our jails are people that probably should just be dead.
Possibly. But look, I am open to negotiations. But where I have the problem with a lot of the Christian nationalist talk is the heavy reliance on the Bible and the interpretation of idiots. Okay, because so here's why I say this. Yeshua said, "Render unto Caesar what is his." What did that mean?
That meant people can have property or possessions.
Render unto Caesar what is his. That means pay taxes, essentially. But there's pay the taxes. The taxes that you owe the state.
Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's kind of implies that, like I know that it literally meant. I can get that it literally meant pay taxes because that's what Caesar's asking for. But like, does that mean that we have to pay taxes to like our government when they're just obviously stealing our money?
Well,
like it's a good to pay taxes to whoever claims them.
Now I'm telling you to think of this on a wider spread. It can also mean live under the rules of the society of which you live. Okay? So, yes, pay taxes to the state as they are demanded. That is commanded by Jesus. Also, live in the society you do. That's why we don't stone gay people. Because we don't think, oh, well, sorry, bro.
Well, so it's a Christian ethics to follow seculars wherever they go?
Well, no, it is actually, so a lot of it is Christian ethics that actually drive secular ethics. Believe it or not, it was the Christians that actually showed tolerance for LGBTQ. The problem is people confuse tolerance with acceptance. Okay, everything is incremental in life. Okay, it used to be the gays were beat relentlessly. And then it was like, oh, we're just looking for tolerance. And so people went, you know what, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't beat up Johnny because he looked at Mike's butt a little bit too long. Okay, maybe we shouldn't be doing
Johnny's
that.
Been doing that for weeks.
Yeah, Johnny has, and he probably deserved it. But let's be honest, maybe we shouldn't beat him up just for that. Okay, wait until he does something really egregious. But
I want to dive into the taxes thing because I don't know what the specific differences were with like Caesar and the taxes he collected and stuff like that, but like that's certainly a very different economy than what we live in now. And so like does it necessarily follow like render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, 2,000 years ago? I have no idea how that, I don't know what they were paying their taxes for, anything like that. But so when we have the government now just taxing, it's like, oh, pay your taxes. That's like a moral virtue to just give up your shit to the state because the state said so.
It is not a moral virtue. Jesus was not talking on morality. He was talking about how you should live your life within the society you live. Okay? There was also, now, what day is the Sabbath to you? What day is Shabbat?
It's on Sunday.
On Sunday. You're absolutely wrong. It's on Saturday.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying the churches that I attend are on Sundays.
And so... But do you know why? Do you know why they're on Sundays? There's a historic reason.
No.
Because during the Christian what is it called when you were the Christian conversion of Europe, which was mostly pagan at the time. We took a lot of pagan cultural ideas and we claimed it was religious. So the Jews would celebrate Shabbat on Saturday because that is the Sabbath. Okay, the Christians, the Orthodox Christians, like Paul, the disciples of Christ and stuff, they would still follow Shabbat on Saturday. But all of Europe took Sunday off. That was their day of rest. Even the pagans had a day of rest. Well, just to make it a little bit more conforming to the pagans, we said, you know what? No, the Sabbath is on Sunday. Always has been. Do you know when Jesus was born? Do you know what month? Or have an estimation of what it was?
Uh, yeah, wasn't it like July or something?
June or July, yeah.
Or maybe March or
Okay,
something? So it was during the summer? I
but
don't
we
know.
celebrate Christmas when?
December 25th.
Why do we celebrate it around that time?
Well, I'm just going to throw some shot out in the dark, but I was reading about the first Thanksgiving, and that was on like June 29th, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know that. And apparently that's because that was like seasonally November for us. So
Yeah.
is it because of that? Because Jesus was
No,
born during the winter?
because Yuletide. Because the German pagan holiday of Yuletide was in December, and that was their big holiday. Before Christmas was invented, what was the largest Christian holiday celebrated?
What would you just ask?
What was the largest Christian religious holiday before Christmas was invented? It was also the same thing for Jews.
Probably Probably Easter?
It was
No, it wouldn't
Passover.
have been Easter for Jews.
Been Passover.
Oh, Passover?
Yeah, in fact,
Right,
the
okay.
final supper, the last supper that Jesus had with the disciples was a celebration of Passover. Did you know that?
I think I did know that
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
that's the big religious holiday. But in order to sell Christianity to the pagans in Europe, oh well, Jesus was born. Our Savior was born right around Yuletide. What a coincidence! Oh my God! Oh, and Easter? Easter? Oh wow, that just happens to go with the spring equinox, which is also a pagan thing. Almost every religious holiday, as you know, as a Protestant, is some pagan reconstructed bullshit, given some biblical reasoning behind it because, we had to convert Europe.
Okay.
The only true religious holidays that should exist in Christianity would probably be Passover, the birth of Christ, the resurrection of Christ. But we'd have to actually do a little bit of research to find out, yeah, June or July, probably July when Jesus was born. And if I remember right, it'd probably be around March for the crucifixion of Christ. So, but no, we basically seeded the actual time, the holy significance of the birth of Christ, and we just said, close enough, the pagans will like it. Boom. I mean, you used to date a German girl, O Tannenbaum.
Yeah.
They talk
I just
about
don't understand what like
literally the majority
it's
of Christian holidays are a result of trying to convince the pagans to convert, is what I'm saying.
sure, but I mean like let's say you and I went into like a time machine and went forward 2000 years and they were like, "Oh yeah, we celebrate Christmas in March." I'd be like, "I'm honestly surprised they still celebrate Christmas. That's pretty crazy." Like it might change and there'll be like different like cultural practices and like the customs and stuff would be different, but it's like it's still ultimately intended to be the same thing. Like we celebrate Christ's birth. With Peep's head, baby. You think so? I mean, I've gone to. I haven't always for my whole life gone to church every week, but I've always gone with my family to Christmas, and it's always the most packed the church ever is. And they're certainly talking about the birth of Christ that entire time. There's no presents and trees and all that at the church. Yeah. That's true for the seculars, for sure. But my family didn't do that. You're not muted on my end, no. I'm getting gaslit. They do this to me all the time. True for the seculars, for sure. But my family didn't do that. Who's in your chat? You're not muted on my end, no. So they can only hear me. I'm getting gaslit. They do this to me all the time. True for the seculars. Hear all the bad arguments. But my family didn't do that. They can just hear mine. Who's in your chat? You're not muted on my end. Oh, Susie. My cat missed me so much. You there, Jason? I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. You there? I can't hear you.